Think of identity security like the badge access system of a highly secure office building. If that badge scanner breaks, or if someone steals a badge, well, operational continuity just grinds to a halt. In Microsoft 365, identity is literally the zero trust cornerstone. It's the absolute foundation, ensuring that only the right people actually get inside the building. Mastering how to troubleshoot and monitor this system is your primary mission for the AB 900 exam. Section 1, Identity Security Fundamentals. Before we can fix a system, we've got to understand its actual purpose. In plain English, identity security is your primary defense layer. It's the process of verifying that users are exactly who they claim to be before they can even touch your data. In the Microsoft 365 universe, this forms the very heart of the zero trust security model, which is basically never trust, always verify. For your AB 900 exam, you need to remember that failing to configure this correctly doesn't just mean one compromised account. It can lead to complete service outages. Section 2, Troubleshooting Common Sign-In Issues. Picture a really strict club bouncer standing at the front door, checking IDs, holding a clipboard. In Microsoft 365, that bouncer is the Microsoft Entra Admin Center. It's the main hub where you're going to manage and troubleshoot all identity access. This is exactly where you go to tweak security settings, investigate problems, and figure out why someone was denied entry. Now take a look at what's written on that bouncer's clipboard. Those are the sign-in logs. These logs are a detailed step-by-step record of every single time a user, or even an automated service, tries to log in. They tell you the who, the what, the when, and the where. For the AB 900 exam, knowing how to filter these logs by user, app, or IP address is a mandatory skill. It's exactly how you pinpoint the true failure reasons, like maybe an incorrect password or a specific policy that blocked a device. So what if you could test the bouncer's rules before actually opening the doors to the public? Well, that is the what if tool. Think of it like a flight simulator for administrators. It lets you simulate a sign-in scenario for a specific user without them actually needing to log in. You get to see exactly which security policies will apply and whether they'll be granted access or denied. It's an absolutely crucial tool for fine-tuning policies so you don't accidentally lock out your entire workforce. Section 3, Resolving Real-World Access Scenarios. Let's look at a super common scenario. Why is a user blocked by multi-factor authentication, or MFA, policies? Imagine a VIP employee trying to get into the building, but their VIP badge scanner is out of sync and just blocks them. The reality is, even legitimate users get stuck if their authentication methods are misconfigured. And this perfectly illustrates your investigation flow. The user attempts to sign in, the Authenticator app generates a prompt, Entra evaluates it, and then a result is given. If it fails, you always start by checking those sign-in logs we just talked about. You verify if they're using the correct method, like maybe a FIDO2 hardware key if your policy requires phishing-resistant MFA. Now here's a massive pitfall to watch out for on the exam: time-based one-time passwords, or TOTP. The Authenticator app and Microsoft Entra rely on internal clocks. If the user's phone clock is even slightly out of sync with the internet time, the code just fails. So always check device clock sync. Okay, next question. Why is access denied by conditional access? Think of conditional access kind of like a strict dress code at a fancy restaurant. You might have a valid reservation, but if you show up in flip-flops, you're just not getting in. In our world, that dress code is device compliance. The investigative flow here is incredibly logical. A user gets blocked. First, you fire up the what-if tool to simulate their sign-in and see exactly which policy tripped them up. Then, you jump over to Microsoft Intune. Are they missing critical security patches? Finally, you check Microsoft Defender for Endpoint to see if that device has active malware alerts. For the AB 900, you absolutely must know that conditional access doesn't just check passwords. It checks the health of the entire device before giving that final result. Let's dive into something a bit more intense. What happens during a risky sign-in? Look, if your bank sees your credit card swiped in New York, and then literally 10 minutes later it's swiped in Tokyo, they freeze the card, right? Microsoft Entra Identity Protection does the exact same thing for user accounts. Here's how that flow actually works. A sign-in happens. Identity protection uses machine learning to flag it as risky. Maybe it's that impossible travel scenario we just mentioned, or maybe those credentials were leaked online somewhere. Admin control kicks in, temporarily blocking access. As the admin, you review the logs. If it's a true threat, your next step is to mandate a password reset and force an MFA challenge before that user can ever get back in. But what if it's just a false alarm? Why is a traveling executive blocked? Imagine your top sales executive flies out to a conference in South America, logs in from a random hotel Wi-Fi, and suddenly gets totally locked out of their corporate email. Organizations frequently use conditional access to block unfamiliar geographic locations or IP addresses. So the user tries to log in, the system checks the location or IP, and blocks them. Your job is to perform an admin check in the sign-in logs. Once you verify their actual travel itinerary, you can grant an exception. A highly testable concept for the exam here is using Privileged Identity Management, or PIM. You use PIM to grant temporary, just-in-time access, rather than permanently relaxing your organization's overarching security policies. Moving right along to another common failure. Why does legacy authentication fail? Think of legacy authentication like a basic metal house key. Anyone who gets their hands on it can just copy it and walk right in. Modern authentication, on the other hand, is like a highly secure smart lock that requires a constantly changing encrypted token.
So a legacy client tries to connect using basic auth. That's just a simple username and password sent via old protocols like POP or IMAP. Because these are incredibly vulnerable to brute force attacks, your admin policy should automatically block them. The crucial takeaway here is that Microsoft is actively retiring basic authentication. For the exam, you've got to understand that upgrading clients to support OAuth 2.0 modern authentication isn't just a friendly recommendation, it's an absolute requirement for keeping the doors open securely.
Section 4. Audit logs for monitoring activity. Imagine a massive logistics warehouse where every single box that comes in or goes out is recorded in a master shipping log. In Microsoft 365, that master log lives right in the Microsoft Purview portal. It provides unified tracking across Exchange, SharePoint, Teams, and Entra. Because this data is incredibly sensitive, you must have specific role permissions, like the audit logs or view-only audit logs role, just to even look at it. Section 5. Advanced Audit Log Investigations. In Purview, you can query for very specific events. For example, looking for file downloaded events in SharePoint to catch potential data exfiltration. You can track unexpected global admin role assignments or changes to Teams policies that might accidentally expose internal data. And for massive enterprise-scale environments, you can even automate this entire process using PowerShell or pipe the data directly into a security platform like Microsoft Sentinel for real-time alerts. Understanding these specific scenarios is absolutely crucial for your AB900 prep. Section 6. App Registrations and Enterprise Apps. Okay, this is a classic exam trap, so let's make it crystal clear. Think of getting a passport. App registration is like filling out the application for the passport. You provide your metadata, you state who you are, and you request permissions. An enterprise application, however, is like actually using that passport at border control. It is the instantiated service principle. It's the actual living instance of the app operating inside your tenant. Never confuse the two on the exam. Registration is the setup, the enterprise app is the execution. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Will your identity configurations securely empower your users, or will they accidentally lock them out? Identity security is a really delicate tightrope walk between keeping the bad guys out and letting the good guys do their jobs. Mastering that exact balance isn't just about being a good administrator. It's exactly what you need to demonstrate to totally crush the AB900 exam.